Paul, we're at the old site right now. Demolition, it started here about 7:30 this morning. Dozens of city workers armed with shovels and loud machinery, heavy machinery like you hear behind me, all working and tearing down the tents and yurts and everything else that was left behind here yesterday by those at the encampment who left and now are at a new encampment a couple blocks down the street. Now, once this demolition is done here, Paul, the Indigenous Peoples Task Force, they're going to redevelop this area here. As for the future of that new encampment, though, those living there, they say that the encampment, that is not their end goal to stay there forever, telling us that it's just the most stable and it's the safest place for them to stay while they wait for better housing. So far, the city says more than 140 people from the encampment, they've been connected with housing since the encampment opened back in August. But there were still about 150 people left at the camp yesterday. According to camp organizers, almost all of those people are in the process of getting help with a more permanent place to stay. But that wait, it could take a while. It's why city council members who were here yesterday, they say the process needs to change.
When we evict this without a permanent solution, it just shifts the risks around the city. It doesn't reduce the risk. And in fact, it increases the risk because you have people losing medication, you have people losing paperwork. That paperwork is often some of the bureaucratic red tape that you're talking about that is a barrier to getting into permanent housing. And so you set a lot of that case management back a number of steps when you do an eviction because it's so chaotic.
Okay, Paul, we did talk to several neighbors who are near that new encampment, again, just a couple blocks away from this old encampment. Those neighbors, some of them were in tears, telling us that they're worried for what's next for their neighborhood, telling us they fear some people are going to sell their houses, and that only means that the stability of their neighborhood is going to plummet. A lot to keep track of here, Paul.